kind of frustrated. It's crazy to me the amount of people who are still extremely confused how a hot wallet and a cold wallet works. I feel like whenever a new story comes out or something like what happened to Brandon LaRoque, where he lost $3 million worth of XRP using a cold wallet, um, I just feel like people get really confused. Hold on, let me do something. Of course, if you have any questions about hot wallets or cold wallets, I'm happy to help. But yeah, I mean, it's 2025, almost 2026. We have AI, we've got the internet, we have YouTube. There's a bunch of free videos and things that you can watch about like how to securely store your crypto using a cold wallet and the differences between hot wallets and cold wallets and exchanges. And the fact that people are still confused in 2025 is beyond me. When I got my first cold wallet, end of 2020, there was a lot less information online about cold wallets, and somehow I still figured it out on my own, right? Sorry, I'm just trying to do some stuff on my computer. But yeah, it absolutely blows my mind. By the way, we'll get into it here in a bit, but if you are new to cold wallets, I get that, it can be confusing or overwhelming at first, but don't let that stop you from using a cold wallet to secure your crypto, because today in 2025, a cold wallet is the most secure way to manage your crypto and the keys to your crypto. That said, the wallet that I use the most out of the 30 cold wallets that I own and that I've recommended to thousands of people here on the channel who are also new to cold wallets is called Tangem. It's a card, and the keys to your crypto are stored on a secure element chip inside this card offline, so it is a true cold wallet. And the only thing you need to use it is your phone and the Tangem app. It's the easiest cold wallet on the market. It's also really affordable. I dropped a link, 10% off link, along with my full user guide if you want to learn how to use it, in the description of this live stream. So just a heads up. But where to even start? Yeah, so many people are confused on how Brandon LaRoque lost his crypto. Now, we don't know the full story. We don't know how his hot wallet was compromised. I don't think we'll ever know that. But usually there's only a few ways a hot wallet gets compromised, or wallets in general. One of the most common ways is that the person exposes their seed phrase, like they give it to someone, whether that's a fake customer support agent or they enter it onto a website. But that doesn't seem to be what happened here. So the more likely scenario is that Brandon maybe downloaded some kind of malware, clicked on a phishing link that compromised his iPad where his hot wallet was stored. And for anyone who's still confused exactly what happened and how kind of LEPAL works, so LEPAL has one app. It's the LEPAL app. Now, you can use the LEPAL app in two ways. You could use it as a standalone app that creates its own seed phrase, and you would manage your crypto directly from the app. The keys are stored on the app. That's a hot wallet. There isn't like a toggle button where you can toggle between hot and cold wallet necessarily. The second way you can use it is as an interface for your LEPAL cold wallet. So what Brandon did originally, in his video, he said he bought a LEPAL cold wallet 5 years ago. He set up his cold wallet the correct way. He generated the seed phrase on the physical LEPAL device. But at some point later on, he downloaded the same LEPAL app onto his iPad, and rather than connecting it to his cold wallet the proper way, he actually entered the seed phrase that he had created on his cold wallet, and he entered it in the hot wallet app. When you do that, you're turning that seed phrase into a hot seed phrase. Think of your seed phrase as your wallet. It's the key that you use to access all of your crypto on the blockchain. Crypto doesn't live in your cold wallet, doesn't live in hot wallets. Crypto doesn't live on exchanges. Crypto only lives on the blockchain. The way that you access and manage your crypto is using your key. The master key, aka the seed phrase, is what controls all of your crypto accounts, And each crypto account, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, they all have their own individual private keys. And these private keys are unique to your seed phrase. And that's what you use to sign crypto transactions. So yeah, he took a cold seed phrase and he turned it into a hot seed phrase. And then at some point, his device was compromised. And because hot wallets store your keys in the software on the app on your internet connected device, if your device ever is compromised, then it's very likely that your crypto wallet will be compromised as well. That's the whole reason cold wallets were created. And it's really that simple. Everyone overcomplicates crypto security. You have one job: keep your keys safe. One job. Now, of course, there's lots of ways that you could, could compromise your seed phrase. But if you know what not to do, it's really simple. And really all you need to do is just use a cold wallet to secure your seed phrase. Don't share your seed phrase with anyone. And it's best not to sign transactions on third-party websites by connecting your wallet and signing the transactions there, because then you risk signing a malicious transaction approval. But no need to overcomplicate crypto security. You don't need to go out. You don't need a VPN. You don't need a specific phone or a dedicated computer. You just need a reputable cold wallet device. And just to be clear, a lot of people are saying this is EliPal's fault. Now, obviously, EliPal, could have better messaging, or could, differentiate the two, the hot wallet and the cold wallet, a little better. There's no doubt about that. I agree with that 100%. But to put the blame on EliPal that what happened with Brandon, I think is just ridiculous. The fact that this happened proves that Brandon didn't know the difference between a cold wallet and a hot wallet. Because if you do, you would know that entering your seed phrase into a random app is, you're basically entering it into a hot wallet. So really it comes down to learning the fundamentals. And that's why I always say, learn the fundamentals first. Like before you ever buy crypto, in my opinion, you should have a cold wallet ready. You should probably have it set up and ready to go. Because if you don't have the foundation to secure your crypto, this is what happens. You lose your entire retirement. And also something I forgot to mention in that video that I posted yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it, is diversification is really important. Especially if you're dealing with millions of dollars like Brandon, you probably don't want to keep $3 million in one wallet. Not because wallets aren't safe, because most cold wallets are never actually hacked. There have been very, very few cases of cold wallets being hacked. And when they are hacked, it's usually in a lab with tools that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the people that are doing it have the technical know-how. It's not just like anyone can pick up and hack a cold wallet. And even the people that can, it just doesn't happen that often. It's only happened a couple times, and they always need physical access to the device. I totally forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, the hardware wallets, the cold wallets in general, they are safe if you know how to use them correctly. If you buy the most secure cold wallet on the market, whatever you think that is, but you don't know how to use it properly, then it doesn't matter, because no wallet is immune to user error. No wallet. But that said, there are wallets that are more complex to use than other ones that are easier to use. That's why I say air-gapped wallets, they're not actually more secure than a non-air-gapped wallet. EliPal, air-gapped wallet. OneKey, the OneKey Pro is an air-gapped wallet. Keystone 3 Pro, that's another air-gapped wallet. Cold Card has an air-gapped wallet. Air-gapped is purely marketing. There has been studies done that prove air-gapped wallets are not actually more secure. In fact, they can be less secure because they introduce unnecessary complexities. And if you're new to cold wallets or crypto storage and you buy a wallet, that's just too complex, you're more likely to make mistakes. So at that point, it becomes more of a liability. And that's why I always say, like, there is no best cold wallet. There's only best for you. You need to know where you stand, with your experience level and what you're looking for. And that way you can choose the best wallet. That's also why I recommend Tangem to most people, because by far it is the most beginner-friendly wallet on the market. And of course, Tangem isn't for everyone either. Maybe some people like using an air-gapped wallet. I'm just saying you really need to to be honest with yourself and know where you stand with your experience level. And again, if you are looking for a cold wallet, which if your crypto is currently on an exchange or on a hot wallet, then you should be absolutely, getting a cold wallet right now as you're on this live stream. I do have a link to the Tangem wallet along with a full user guide, how to set it up, how to use it, how to send crypto to it, how to send crypto from it back to the exchange, all that good stuff in the description of this live stream. And that link will get you 10% off your order. Now I'll go through the chat here in a bit after I'm done doing my little rant. But yeah, there is no excuse for anyone to not know the difference between a hot wallet, a cold wallet, and a crypto exchange, as well as the risks of using those. And a lot of people say crypto, this is why crypto will never see mainstream adoption, because it's just too complicated. Too many people get screwed over, and then there's no way to recover your crypto if something happens, because everything that happens on the blockchain is immutable. It's permanent. It can't be reversed, which I agree is a huge issue. But guess what? If you want to be first to new technology, if you want to be early to technology like crypto, it takes effort. It takes effort because we are still so early. It's not seamless. It was the same for the internet. Back when the internet first started, do you think it was easy peasy to use? It wasn't. Now we all walk around with the internet in our pocket and we don't think twice about it. It just works. Crypto's not there yet, which means if you're going to be in this space, then you need to have a solid foundation and understanding of how crypto works. Just the fundamentals, right? That's kind of what it takes. If that is unappealing to you, if you don't have the time or you're too lazy or you just don't want to put in the effort to learn the fundamentals, then don't buy crypto. Go look somewhere else. Go buy gold. Go open a savings account. Invest in your 401k. Go to Vegas and gamble. You're pretty much doing that anyways in crypto. Okay. I'll start going through some of the live chats here. Shout out to everyone watching. I appreciate you being here. Again, if you have any questions about anything crypto security related, I'm happy to try to answer them, but please provide as much context and details as possible if you want me to answer your question as quickly and to the best of my ability, because sometimes people will ask me a question and they leave out the most important thing, so I'm not able to answer their question very well. Also, don't be afraid to ask questions, because I get everyone's at a different level in their crypto journey, so this is a safe space where you can ask questions, and if I don't know the answer, I'll just say, I don't know. Forever Forgiven says that he ordered his Tangem wallet and it'll be here Friday. Super cool. Forever Forgiven said, I heard it was his fault though, because he was doing airdrops and added his seed phrase to a cold wallet. He didn't add his seed phrase to a cold wallet. He created his seed phrase on a cold wallet and then entered it in a hot wallet. What's up, Rise Above? Ahmed said, crazy people still misuse cold wallets and lose their funds, but did you see the new Trezor Safe 7? I agree. It is, it's unacceptable that people are still misusing cold wallets. And yes, I did see the new Trezor Safe 7 and I should have it. I'm trying to get my hands on it as soon as possible so I can do a proper review. Kiki Kennedy says, do you know when Tangem credit card is coming? Last I heard is going to be end of the year. Just to be clear, it's not a credit card. It is a self-custodial debit card. There's a big difference there. And it won't be available in the US at first. It's only going to be available, I believe, in Europe and the UK once it is released, and then it'll be released to the rest of the world later on. Ace says, I was going to email you about this guy. Guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the gentleman who just got hacked for $3 million worth of XRP, go to my channel and just watch the latest video on the channel that I published yesterday. And shout out to everyone who told me about this guy. That's the reason I created the video, because there was a lot of confusion as far as what happened. And I mean, it's one of the best performing videos on the channel. I mean, it's at 120,000 views in less than 24 hours. So I'm hoping that it's helping a lot of people. But I'm also still seeing a lot of confusion in the comments, which is why I started this live stream. So if you have questions, now is the time to clear up that confusion. The Truth Vault says Tangem is the cheat code to life right now. Yeah, Tangem is definitely, it almost feels like a cheat code because of how easy it is to use. What's going on, Joy? Legacy says, I feel bad for the guy who lost 3 mil in XRP. I do too. Like obviously, you know, whether it was his fault or not, which it was, it's still extremely sad. And, you know, I'm praying for him and his wife, and I hope that, you know, something good will come from this. But yeah, there's still no excuse for what happened. It could have been easily avoided. Also, a lot of people, you know, were saying we should set up a GoFundMe to help him. He said in his video he's not interested in handouts or people setting up a GoFundMe. He doesn't want people to send him money. He's taken full accountability for his actions. Also, it wouldn't really make sense to send him money, especially some people were saying like set up, like have him set up a wallet and we could send crypto to it. If he doesn't know how to secure his crypto, he's just going to lose it again. So in my opinion, you know, like I wouldn't want crypto until I know how to secure it. So Big Johnny D, what's going on, brother? Let's see here. Shout out to all my haters on the channel. I love you guys. Forever Forgiven says, I feel like if you're going to put that much money into crypto, you should do the research on how to do it safely. Yeah, I mean, that's why this channel literally exists. If you go through the videos on this channel, you'll know literally more than 90% of people in crypto as far as how to secure your crypto. Because it's an older study that was done in 2023. I would argue the percentage is even less now. But in 2023, a study was done and less than 10% of people who were in crypto owned a cold wallet. And because so many more people are coming into crypto now, I feel like, I bet that's even, you know, the percentage is even smaller, like maybe 5 to 8% of people own a cold wallet. But again, owning a cold wallet isn't enough. Remember, learn how to use it, learn how it works. Joseph says that he had the Ledger Nano X and didn't like it. He got the Tangem wallet because of the videos on the channel. Says that he loves it and it's so easy to purchase or make transfers. Thanks for everything you do. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you're enjoying Tangem. That's why I recommend it, because it's the wallet that I enjoy the most using as well. And, you know, that's why I've, at this point, own 8 different Tangem wallets. But it truly is the wallet that I use the most. And I do store a decent amount of my portfolio on Tangem. For those of you who say Tangem isn't secure for, you know, for storing crypto long term or for storing, you know, large chunks of your portfolio, I do trust Tangem myself. I don't recommend wallets that I wouldn't personally use or that I wouldn't recommend to my own family and friends, right? Which I consider everyone here on the channel and anyone who I've interacted with. You know, I consider you friends and you know, people I care about. So I wouldn't recommend something that I wouldn't use myself, is really what it comes down to. It just doesn't make sense. Diddy says, my first and last cold wallet is Tangem. I love it. Thank you for the recommendation and discount code, of course. Glad you're enjoying it. And for anyone else looking to check out the Tangem wallet or get the Tangem wallet, again, link is in the description of this live stream. That link will automatically apply a discount to the wallet. And there's also a user guide, how to set it up, how to transfer crypto to and from it, in the description as well, if you want to learn how to use it. Joy says, what do you think is better to hold during bear market in cold wallets, Bitcoin or a stable coin like USDC or USDT? It really depends on your goals and your risk tolerance. Obviously, if you hold USDT or any stable coin in your wallet, it's not going to go up in value and it's probably not going to go down in value as well. Whereas Bitcoin, it is still going to remain volatile even through a bear market. And it really depends, you know, how long what's your long-term plan? Like, are you trying to cash out tomorrow, or do you plan on holding Bitcoin for the next 5 to 10 years? If you plan on holding Bitcoin long term, then it shouldn't really matter and you should just hold on to your Bitcoin. That's just my opinion, but there's no right or wrong answer. It just depends on your goals. Forever Forgiven says 30 cold wallets. That's a lot of tracking. So I own 30 cold wallets. I don't use all of them. My job is to test and review hardware wallets so that I can recommend them to you and so that I can stay up to date on how they work and new features and things. I have my favorite wallets that I like to use that are best for me. And that's what I use on a more regular basis. A lot of wallets that I have picked up in the past, they just sit in a box. I'm not interested in using them. And those are the ones that I don't recommend on the channel because it's not something I use. Which is kind of funny because a lot of people, they'll come on my videos and they'll be like, well, like all you recommend is the same 3 wallets, which I usually recommend Tangem, Ledger, and Trezor. Which to me is a good thing because imagine if I had changed the wallet that I recommended every video I made. Like that seems kind of weird, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think, but that seems kind of weird. Callie Armor says, can you explain what all these Bitcoin addresses do and mean? Segwit, Taproot, Legacy. To be honest, they're just like over the years as Bitcoin has, advanced, new types of addresses have come out that are more efficient. They're quicker to receive funds and they cost less money. So something like the legacy address, that's one of the original addresses. It's not as efficient as something like Segwit. So Segwit is a more efficient option. And as far, my understanding is that it's just a more efficient way to send Bitcoin. Now, not all platforms might not offer to send on certain addresses. So that's why you'll see some wallets like Tangem. It lets you choose, like, do you want to receive Bitcoin on the legacy address or on the Segwit address? Because it really just depends on what platform you're sending Bitcoin from. So yeah. The Truth Vault says, can we just appreciate the discount on all the coins right now? Yeah, I mean, crypto is definitely bleeding a little bit, especially for, being October, but, Bitcoin is still well above 100K, which, is great. I just saw that gold took like a 6% hit today, which is pretty big. So I'm excited. Like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen with China and the trade war and all that stuff, but there is something in the air that, like, I just feel it in my bones. Like, I'm really excited for crypto. Like, I feel like things are really moving. And I feel like the gears are starting to connect and it's starting to move more efficiently. So I guess I'm thinking a little more long-term. I'm really excited and bullish on crypto as a whole. Ahmed says, do you think quantum computing will break Bitcoin's security? So I'm not a developer. I don't have like coding skills or anything like that. From what I've read from experts in the industry who are security experts and developers, from what I've read, we could be anywhere from 10 years out of quantum computing being able to, to compromise like cryptography, not Bitcoin specifically, but maybe Bitcoin, upwards of like 80 years out. And some people say it'll never happen. So I don't know. I say, expect the worst and be prepared. And that's why a lot of developers are already starting to create or at least consider quantum proofing networks. So I think anything's a possibility, right? But I don't know for sure. What is the safest way? Asked Tony. The safest way to do what? Joy Alpha says, would you recommend the Keystone 3 Pro over Ledger for security as the main thing? I wouldn't. Not that Keystone isn't secure. It's just Keystone is not a very user-friendly wallet, in my opinion. And Ledger is top of the line. There's a reason that all the other hardware wallet companies rely and trust Ledger's security team, which is Ledger's own drone, to test their products, find vulnerabilities, and then privately communicate those vulnerabilities to them so they can fix them. Like Ledger has helped Trust Wallet. Ledger found a huge vulnerability in Trust Wallet years ago that allowed Trust Wallet to fix before anyone was majorly affected. Same with Cold Card. They found a vulnerability in one of the old Cold Card wallets. Again, communicated that to Cold Card so they could fix it. Tangem recently, they found a slight vulnerability. It was a bit over exaggerated, but nonetheless, they communicated it privately. What else? Trezor as well. They've helped out a lot of companies, and I truly believe Ledger is top of the line when it comes to security in the cold wallet industry. That's why I trust Ledger to secure my crypto. Not that I don't trust Keystone. I just think for the average user, especially if you're new to cold wallets, you're going to want to go with something that's simpler to use like Ledger versus Keystone. It's going to be a huge pain in the butt, trust me. Goop says, have you seen the new Trezor Safe 7? Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, and I will be reviewing it as soon as I can get my hands on it. Shout out to Bare Knuckle, what's going on? Graceful Peach says, Cold Wallet is good. Cold Wallet is the best way to secure your crypto in 2025. If you don't have a Cold Wallet right now, you need to get one before 2026. The reason I say that is because the last quarter of the year is usually when crypto goes up. It's also when scammers and hackers are most active because there's a lot of money flowing around online. Everyone's in a panic. Everyone's stressed out because of the holidays. So hacks and scams increase tenfold starting October and then all the way probably through January. So yeah, I would expect to see more hacks, more vulnerabilities being exploited, more scams. I'd expect all of that over the next few months, and you should be ready. It's like a digital war zone. And because crypto is still so complicated and so complex, it is a massive, easy target for scammers. So easy. So easy. So easy. So get a cold wallet, learn how to use it effectively. I have videos on this channel that show you exactly how to use a cold wallet. It's really simple. You could buy crypto on an exchange and you send it over to your cold wallet, and that's it. You're good to go. Don't do anything else. When you're ready to sell, you can send it back to the exchange, or depending on the cold wallet, you can sell it directly from your cold wallet. Or if you want to swap it to another crypto, you can do that. But it's really that simple. Bappy says he's using the seedless option on the Tangem wallet. He's got 2 cards in different places, and one is for random use. Random using card, another one is disabled for access code recovery. Is it okay? I mean, if that's how you want to do it, then that's your choice. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to set up your Tangem wallet. Whatever works for you. Indiana Pips, did you watch the intro of the new Trezor Safe 7? I didn't actually watch the intro. I literally just was reading the post on Twitter that Trezor made about it. And I'm talking to Trezor's team in emails, trying to get my hands on the Safe 7 so that I can do a proper review for everyone. So stay tuned because I will. I'm going to get that wallet literally as soon as I can. Hopefully, within the month, and I'll get a review out as soon as possible after I obviously test the wallet out, look into all its features and all that good stuff. Cranthy says, hi bro, I've been watching your videos, your lives since my childhood. Okay. I mean, I guess I haven't been doing lives for too long, so you're probably still a youngster. Bare Knuckle says, I'm doing my homework now. That's great. That's all anyone can do. I think research is crucial, and the information is free. It's 2025. Also, that's a point I want to make is be careful where you're getting your information from. Obviously, do your research, but have a good filter. Because I found that a lot of people, especially on YouTube, and I'm talking about YouTubers, they speak in theory. Theoretically, this could happen. Yeah, you could say that for literally anything. Theoretically, the internet could shut down tomorrow, which it basically has. I mean, Amazon web server has been down for days and a bunch of websites are down. But yeah, in theory, of course, anything could happen. In theory, nothing is secure, right? So that's why whenever I create videos or talk about products, I try to speak in facts, and I try to to use data or provide data. Like when I do my research, I'm not just going and watching some other YouTuber or going to Reddit to find out about products. I'm actually looking into the technology, how it works, and reading a lot of the articles that come out from the developers and the creators of these wallets, because it's really easy for misinformation to spread on the internet, especially if it's negative information. It spreads like wildfire. So it can be really hard to find the truth, but it is out there if you dig deep enough and you really want to know the truth. Another thing I've learned on this channel is a lot of people they're not interested in knowing the truth. They just want an argument, which is also frustrating. And I do spend time to try to communicate that with people here on the channel in the comments section. That's why you see me reply to so many comments. But it's really because I don't want misinformation to live on this channel. I hate arguing, but I do like to call out BS when I see it, and there's a lot of it. So careful where you get research. One other thing I want to mention: there's been everyone's asking me about this Web3 thing. I guess they're seeing streamers and videos of people saying you need to stop using cold wallets and use a Web3 wallet. That's a scam. Whoever is telling you that, whoever videos those are, or whatever channels you follow or influencers you follow who are saying to get a Web3 wallet, just know they're scammers and they are trying to scam you. Okay? Okay, cool. Let's see, where was I? Vinicius says that guy is awesome, but having $3 million in a single wallet was insanity. I agree. I agree. Jesse says, I don't feel that people are confused. They are afraid to make a mistake on transferring their crypto. That's also true. People are fearful, but yes, Jesse, tons of people are still confused. And I don't hold it against them, but they are just heavily misinformed, and they are very, very confused. And the sad thing is, like, a lot of the things that I explain in the comments on my channel, you can literally use Google and find out in 30 seconds. A lot of people are still confused. Being fearful is one thing. Being lazy and not doing basic research is a whole nother thing. Ashley says, I feel sorry for the guy, but as soon as he said I put my seed phrase online, my jaw dropped. Right? It's because, yeah, I agree. Cyber Skrilla, you should start doing consulting. I guarantee people will pay for this type of knowledge. So yeah, consulting would be interesting. Not something I'll probably ever do. It's not very scalable to do by myself. I'd much rather provide free content that reaches as many people as possible. That's not hidden behind a paywall. Because any of the consultations I do, it's going to be the same information that I provide here on the channel, except I'd have to charge people literally hundreds of dollars per hour just to make it worth my time. Because I run a business here. This channel is a business. It generates revenue. And my main goal is to help people navigate crypto securely. And I feel like it'd be very limiting if I offered consultations, because then I can only help one person at a time. That's why social media, or now interest media as people are calling it, is it's way better because it can reach everyone. And I don't have to charge anyone any money to view it. So, and then I just get paid for, the ads that play on the videos, obviously, is how YouTube works. And then if someone buys a wallet using my link, any wallet on the market, doesn't matter which one, if you buy it using my link, I get a small commission for that. So as long as I can keep doing that, I can keep providing information for free. Bare Knuckle says, if you have done everything correctly, why not hold your funds in one wallet? Honestly, because we're all humans and humans make mistakes every day. Um, so it's not about, not trusting the wallet, or maybe, not even not trusting yourself. But sometimes we're just having a bad day. We might not have a clear mind and we might slip up and make a mistake. That's just the reality of life. So the way to limit your risk or reduce risk is diversify your assets. Joseph says, how do I get one of those Tangem hats? Probably just ask Tangem on social media or something. This one is filthy. This is, I think this is from the sun and my sweat because I do yard work in this, but I kind of like it. It looks kind of vintage now. But they just sent me this. They had some leftover from a conference they did last year, I think, and they sent me a hat, and I've worn the crap out of it. Dog with hoodie says, what's the best wallet to use? Tangem question mark. So the best wallet is it's subjective and it depends on you. If you watch the video I posted, the third most recent video on my channel is called How to Choose the Best Cold Wallet for 2026. If you watch that video, I go over exactly what I look for when choosing a cold wallet. And once you go through those lists, those items, once you're finished, you'll know exactly what wallet is best for you. But in general, I'd say, and from what I've seen on the channel, most beginners will go with something like Tangem because of how easy it is to use. But Tangem is a mobile-only wallet, so if you don't want to use your wallet for whatever reason on your phone, then you would need a desktop wallet, and that's when I'd recommend something like the Ledger Flex or really any Ledger wallet, or even one of the Trezor Safe wallets like the Trezor Safe 3 or Trezor Safe 5. And you also want to check that it supports the cryptocurrencies you plan to secure with it. So there's no best wallet, again, because it's subjective. There's only best for you. But if it is your first cold wallet, definitely check out Tangem. Link along with the 10% discount code is in the description of this live stream. And I have the full user guide down there as well. So it'll teach you exactly how to set it up in real time, step by step, how to transfer crypto to it from the exchange, and even how to transfer crypto from your Tangem wallet back to the exchange if you ever want to do that. James says, I was helped last night. I think I lost my XRP. Would you be willing to help? James, I don't know what you mean by you were helped. It sounds like you may have been scammed. Unfortunately, I don't offer any kind of like scam recovery service or anything like that. If you have any questions, you can drop them here in the comments. Obviously, without giving away like any personal details like your seed phrase or anything like that, obviously. But any question, just drop it in the chat. I don't offer like one-on-one conversations or anything like that. Bappy says, before buying Tangem cars, I watched a lot of your videos. Awesome. Hopefully they were helpful. Darren says, I'm not confused about cold wallets. I just don't know how to move my tokens to a custom tokens. I did message you via Reddit, but you haven't responded. I don't really get on Reddit with my Cyberskrilla account, so I'm not going to respond there. And I don't usually respond to private messages for a number of reasons. If you have questions, drop it on the channel and I'll answer it there. That said, I don't know what you mean by you don't know how to move custom tokens to your cold wallet. I'm assuming you're talking about like adding a custom token that isn't like something like Pepe, right? Just an example, like that's a token on the Ethereum network that you might have to add. But again, I would need a lot more details. That one guy says, is EpiPal good? I'm assuming you're talking about EliPal. So EliPal, even before this thing happened with Brandon, he was using an EliPal cold wallet. Again, he was compromised because he imported his seed phrase into a hot wallet. The physical cold wallet device wasn't hacked. Just want to make that clear. That said, I stopped recommending EliPal wallets long before this ever happened to Brandon. A couple months ago, maybe a month or two ago, I stopped recommending EliPal because they lied to me in an email and their marketing is also very deceiving. Like for example, they say if you go to their website and look at the EliPal, the X cards, their new wallet, literally on that product page, it says that it's an air-gapped wallet, which is impossible because it uses NFC, near field communication. That instantly tells you that it's not air-gapped. And it's not the first time I've seen, deceptive marketing from them. But just not a company that I want to recommend or support after they lied to me and they lied to their customers. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Leroy says, what platform do you recommend for buying Bitcoin? Any reputable platform will work for buying Bitcoin. I use Kraken to buy crypto. That's what I like to use, but any like tier 1 crypto exchange will be fine. Just don't keep your crypto there, get it into a cold wallet immediately. Ashley says she has the Engrave wallet. Engrave is an awesome wallet. It's also one of the most expensive on the market. It's like $420. It's a good wallet. Obviously, it will secure your crypto. I will say, however, you don't need to buy a $420 wallet to secure your crypto. So, James says, Exodus. Exodus is a hot wallet. You do not want to keep any crypto on a hot wallet. Sydney's family says, what exchange do you prefer? Again, I prefer Kraken. Tracy says, I like my Tangem, but I have Trezor 5 too. Yeah, for sure. There's nothing wrong with having different types of cold wallets, right? Or using different wallets. Like if you diversify your crypto, you could have one wallet be a Tangem wallet and another one be Trezor or Ledger, whatever it may be. But I've also have my Trezor Safe 5 right here. I've got the Trezor Safe 3. I even have the old Trezor models, and soon I'll have the Trezor Safe 7. Graceful Peach says, what about Ledger Flex? Ledger Flex is one of my favorite wallets on the market right now. That's why I've got 3 of them. I've also collected, like the Solana edition one. I just kind of like collecting wallets because I'm just kind of nerdy like that. I've been collecting since I was a kid. So it's just a thing that I do. But the Ledger Flex is an awesome wallet. Probably, in my opinion, for me, it's one of the best wallets on the market. David Retired says, how do you keep all your seed phrases organized? I mean, it's pretty simple. You just, write it down. I have my seed phrases stored in metal. So like the metal seed phrase plate. And then you just put that in a secure location. Now you could make markings on the plate, like if you wanted to designate it to a specific wallet or something, however you want to set it up. It really just depends. There's no right or, let's see. Here we go. Hide this guy from the channel. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize people were spamming this. I think what I need to do is turn on, let's see if I can change some settings here. It's unfortunate because when you do a vertical live stream like this, so I'm going to enable slow mode right now so that you can only comment every 45 seconds. That way, if there are any spammers on the channel, they can't spam as much, and then I can delete it once I get that far down the chat. Okay, hopefully that helped. Okay, I definitely lost my place in the chat, so my apologies. But it's probably somewhere around here. I can only go to the bottom here. I'll start with Michael Kelly. I was able to send XRP from my phone to my Tangem wallet, but I have issues sending XLM. Not sure, how to help you without, having more context to what your issue is. Wayne says, I'm setting up my Ledger Flex now. When I go to receive, it just spins. Is it busy now? Probably not busy. I don't know I've never experienced that. I'm not sure what would cause that. If you're setting up your Ledger Flex wallet, you wouldn't be at the receive tab yet. So I'm assuming you've already completed the setup process and you're now trying to receive crypto. I would try maybe, disconnecting your device and reconnecting it, or just like the basics, take the cartridge out, blow on it and put it back in, unplug it and put it back in. I've just, yeah. Sean Campbell says, what cold storage do you recommend for XRP? Really, whatever cold wallet holds XRP. Tangem, Ledger, probably my two top picks. Tangem is really easy for managing your XRP. Again, link is in the description of this live stream with a discount code and a full user guide. If you're new to cold wallets, I definitely recommend looking into Tangem. What's going on, Sunseeker? Good day. Forever Forgiven says, what made you want to start helping people secure their crypto? Really because, again, when I got started in 2020, there just wasn't a lot of resources online to help me. And at times I felt like really lost and quite literally helpless. So I just had to go through the growing pains of doing it myself and learning it. But I also understand that crypto is still an extremely complex and cesspool of a space. And it kind of pisses me off that, bad people exist that take advantage of people who don't know what they're doing. So it really just comes down to like helping people navigate the space more securely. That's just what I like to do. But I felt like I've always liked helping people. Like before this, I've been a personal trainer, I've helped people, work out and gain muscle. I've always liked helping people. If I have a skill, I like sharing that skill with other people. That's just something I was born with. So Leroy says, there's so many platforms selling crypto.com. Can you give me a legit crypto.can? Leroy, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. What kind of platform are you looking for? I'm not sure what you mean. Petra says, please explain how malware can get on your phone. I have lots of apps and Gmail on my phone. Malware can get on your device through a number of ways. You could click on a bad email and there could be malware in the email. It's possible that it would automatically start downloading when you open that email. That's why I just recommend not opening, spammy emails. Also, clicking on a bad Google ad could install malware onto your device. Visiting a malicious website could download malware onto your device. Sometimes even like when you type in something on Google search and the first thing that shows up in Google search, it says sponsored and there's like a URL. Sometimes scammers will literally buy those sponsored positions in hopes that you click on it. So you'll type in something like Coinbase and then they buy a sponsored spot on the top of Google, hoping that you click on it. And then, there could be malware on the website, or it could be more of like like some kind of social engineering website where, they try to get you to enter your seed phrase or something. But really there's a number of ways. So the best way to avoid malware, in my experience, is to not just click on random crap that is, that you're not expecting. So, especially from random people. What's going on here? Goop says, have you seen the Treasure Say 7 that came out today? Yes, I have. Thoughts or opinions? I can't really give you my full thoughts or opinions until I get my hands on it. Sorry, the chat is moving at a rate in which I can't keep up, and I'm trying to figure out why I can't see the older comments. Live chat replay. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, this is going to be tough. I'm going to try to answer these super quick. Otherwise I lose the comments. What cold storage do you recommend for XRP? Sean, I've already replied. I'd say look into Tangem. Link is in the description of this live stream along with a 10% off discount code. Is it safe to purchase on the Tangem app? Yes, you can safely buy and sell crypto on the Tangem app. Scotty says he needs some training. His Facebook account has his name. All his data is available for public to see. He talks about buying gold, silver, crazy. Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you use the internet, your public data, your personal data is definitely out there. It doesn't really matter if you use Facebook or not. CB says, can I add another one or more Tangem wallets on the same Tangem app? Is there a higher risk of having wallets on the same app? Can hackers get into Tangem app? Yes, you can add as many sets of Tangem cards to the Tangem app as you want. One of my phones has 4 sets of Tangem cards all in the same app. The important thing is that every set of card has their own keys. So even if one wallet were compromised for some reason because you exposed your seed phrase, your other ones are still safe. And yeah, your keys aren't stored in the app, so you're going to be good. That said, the Tangem app is immune to malware because of the way it's designed. It's completely isolated from the rest of your phone and other apps. There's also some other really cool security features that helps prevent against like spyware and stuff. But your keys aren't going to be compromised if you use multiple Tangem wallets because they're all stored offline on the EAL6 Plus chip inside this card, which is the most secure chip the cold wallet industry offers. And it's just one of the most secure chips in general. It's the same kind of chip used in bank cards and electronic passports with the sole job of keeping secrets safe. So, Goop says, personally, I don't like Tangem because you are directly relying on their app, which could be gone. You're not directly relying on the app. Almost every cold wallet uses an app. As long as you have your seed phrase, you can take that seed phrase and access your crypto on any wallet. So not fully true. I mean, you could say that about any wallet. Forever Forgiven says, was asking about the guy that I already kicked out. Yeah, having mods on the channel would be cool, but also, I don't know, something I'm considering. Let's see. Sean says, how hard is it to move your XRP from Kraken into a cold storage wallet? It's as easy as sending an email. Literally, if you watch the Tangem wallet tutorial in the description of this live stream, it shows you exactly how to send crypto. It's really the same for any crypto. And the process is like a few steps. Step number 1, sign into your Tangem wallet and copy the XRP or whatever cold wallet you're using, copy the XRP receiving address, then go to the Kraken exchange, hit the send button, paste the cold wallet receiving address into the send spot, enter whatever amount of crypto you want to send, hit send, and then your crypto's on the way. Darren says he used his Tangem wallet for the first time. When he put his funds on the wallet, it showed the funds and then they disappeared, but then half hour later it was showing again. So Darren, you have to understand that the Tangem app and any cold wallet app is just an interface. All it does is show all the data from the blockchain. If it ever disappears from the app for like a brief moment, that's just an API issue. It doesn't mean that your crypto disappears from your wallet or from the blockchain. That's not possible. It's just an API issue. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Dog with Hoodie says, thoughts on Tangem Ring. I have the Tangem Ring. I've had it for a long time. I think it works extremely well. It's durable. It's super discreet. And I've traveled, to all different places with the ring. Would recommend it if you travel or if you just live like a more active lifestyle. Apparently, I forgot my access code on my Tangem. To reset or change, does it require wiping all the cards? Nope. There is an option in the settings to change your access code. If you just go to settings, select your wallet, and then I think click manage device, and then change access code. And you'll have to change the access code for each card because the access code is card specific. So if you just only change it on one card, then it will only change it on that one card. Can you buy crypto off a cold wallet? This last crash, the exchange wouldn't let us buy. You can buy and sell and exchange and stake crypto on cold wallets, but just know that a lot of these cold wallets just partner with centralized crypto exchanges, so you could still run into that issue. If you want to avoid that, you would need to use a decentralized exchange. Joseph says, I know everything about cold wallets because of you. Thanks so much. Well, you don't have to thank me, man, because you're the one putting in the work. So props to you for, taking the time to research and learn how this stuff works. That's all you, my guy. Tim Foster says, question, it's easier to use my laptop to log on to Kraken and transfer to my Tangem. Is that okay? That's completely fine. Nothing wrong with that. What's going on, Aid? Aid. Bare Knuckles says, how did he have his funds on his hot wallet and his cold wallet? Bare Knuckles, you have to understand how wallets work. Wallets are just security devices. They hold the keys to your crypto. The master key used to access all of your crypto is the seed phrase. You can take that seed phrase and input it into any wallet, hot wallet, cold wallet, it doesn't matter. You could also take that seed phrase and have it in 100 different wallets at the same time. But once you take a seed phrase that was once cold and you put it into a hot wallet app, it now becomes exposed to all the threats of the internet, so it's now a hot seed phrase. Seed phrases are not wallet specific. They're just a key that are generated from the blockchain. They're not specific to wallet brands or anything like that. Indiana Pip says, do you think Tangem will ever create a desktop app? Absolutely not. Not in their plans. They are a mobile-only wallet. Amanda says, Arculus still okay? I don't use Arculus, Amanda. I haven't talked about Arculus since I reviewed it, I think 2 years ago. Not a wallet that I use. I prefer Tangem much more than Arculus. Really, I just think Tangem is the better wallet, supports more cryptocurrencies. I think the user interface is better. Also, I don't think Arculus's app is 100% open source like Tangem is. Bappy says, how to prevent blind signing. It kind of depends, honestly, on what platform you're using your wallet on, because some platforms force you to blind sign. So yeah, it just depends. How to prevent blind signing, you don't do it. Michael says, Tangem is still a true cold wallet, right? It just seems weird since you have to do everything through the app. Just want to make sure I get the right cold wallet. Michael, just to be clear, every cold wallet utilizes an app. Because cold wallets are offline, they have no way of communicating with the internet where the blockchain exists, which is where your crypto exists. Without apps, cold wallets wouldn't work. So all the app is, it's simply a middleman. It communicates transaction data back and forth between the blockchain. So like when you initiate a transaction from your app, it gathers the unsigned transaction data from the blockchain, and then it sends it offline to your cold wallet. Your cold wallet, and you, of course, with your approval, then signs that transaction offline in a secure environment, and then it broadcasts it back to the app, which broadcasts it to the blockchain. But Tangem is a cold wallet. The keys are stored offline on the secure element chip inside the card, and it's not stored on your phone or in the app. Jim says, how do we track our swaps and sells on Tangem for tax purposes? Jim, everything you do in crypto is tracked on the blockchain. The blockchain is literally a digital public ledger of transactions. So all you have to do is use a tool that scrapes all that data and puts it into the proper tax document for you. If you want to see how to do that, just type in how to file crypto taxes on YouTube and watch my video. I use CoinLedger and I break down that entire process in that video. Sydney says, Tangem, thanks to you. Heck yeah, another happy Tangem user. Meme Coin Mayhem says, Tangem's the best wallet for my Labubu ETH. Okay. Glad you're enjoying it. Little Ninja, is it safe using your bank account to crack and to transfer money? Yeah, I mean, that's one of the only ways to do it. As safe as, really anything else. Hello, bro. What about app doesn't work anymore. Bankruptcy, also open source code, doesn't work anymore, and your wallet's seedless. Still any chance to recover your token? So you're talking about Tangem. The code is already out there. It's already on GitHub. So the code already exists. It's already in the public on GitHub. That said, the app won't magically disappear from your phone if Tangem, were to disappear. The app would still be on your phone, and the basic functions of the Tangem app, like sending and receiving crypto, don't rely on Tangem servers or their APIs or anything. It relies on the blockchain. So you'll still always be able to send and receive crypto if you have your Tangem wallet set up seedless. Tim already answered your question. I will answer it one more time just in case you didn't hear me. You're asking if you can use Kraken on your laptop to send to your Tangem. That's completely fine. Darren says, I bought 2 sets of Tangem wallets. I like the wallet. I'm just unsure how to get my unsupported tokens into it. Darren, just to be clear, what do you mean by unsupported? If Tangem doesn't support the coins you're trying to transfer it, then you can transfer those coins to the wallet. That's why I say the 2 deal breakers that you need to check before buying a wallet. The first deal breaker, does it support the cryptos that you want to secure with it? And does it work with the devices that you have? If it doesn't, you wouldn't want to use that wallet. So that's definitely something you should check before getting a wallet. Tracy says these are the most important lesson for everyone. I wouldn't say the most important. There's a lot more important things in life than crypto, that's for sure. But if you're going to be in crypto, I would say, yeah, they are important lessons. Ahmed, I've already answered your question about quantum computing and Bitcoin. OIO says, how safe is it to use a seed phrase you already have on Tangem? Thank you for help and lessons with crypto. I don't know what you mean exactly. If you're talking about like importing a seed phrase from a hot wallet into Tangem, you never want to do that. You never want to import a hot wallet seed phrase into a cold wallet. That defeats the purpose of using the cold wallet. So in general, I'd say it's best to create a new seed phrase when you get your first cold wallet. Momonga says, I moved some XRP to my Tangem, then Coinbase locked my account and said they had to verify that it was me until tomorrow. I lost all trust with them. Yeah, I mean, it happens, man. And just to be clear, like, I absolutely am not a fan of Coinbase. I'll never recommend Coinbase to anyone again. But this can happen on any crypto exchange. This is why you need to get your crypto off exchanges, because it's not actually your crypto if it's on an exchange. Since they control the keys that control your crypto, they remain in full control, which means they can freeze your funds. They can lock your account. Their website could shut down and you will not have access to your crypto. That doesn't happen if you're using a cold wallet. What's going on, Barbara Tennyson? Shout out to Barbara. Durska, I asked CyberScroll on his video this morning, how can an app have both a hot wallet app and a cold wallet app, only distinguished by color? The hot wallet for the convenience of frequent traders. So it's the same app. Again, you can use AliPal app one of 2 ways. You can use it on its own as a standalone hot wallet, or you can use it with your AliPal device. What Brandon did is he originally set it up the correct way on his AliPal device, but later downloaded the app again on his iPad and imported his cold wallet seed phrase into the app. So he made it a hot wallet. Barbara says, how do you find what network your coin is on? Barbara, when you go to send crypto from whatever exchange you're using, it's either going to, like when you hit the send button on that crypto, look, and it will tell you either what network that crypto is on, that's the network you want to receive it on in your cold wallet, or depending on the exchange, it will have you choose what network you want to send it on. Those are the 2 ways to know. Aaron says, what's the best platform to trade and buy? I mean, just buying and selling crypto, I use Kraken. Joy says, thank you. What you do is awesome. Keep doing the great work. not financial advice, but buy Bitcoin. All right. I appreciate you, Joy. Harry says, I got a Tangem ring from your code. It was too big for me. I ordered another smaller size. Still waiting on it. Hopefully it fits better. Just need Tangem ring to store my altcoin on. The ring is shiny. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry it didn't fit you. Like, my recommendation, if you want to get the Tangem ring, is go to any jeweler in your town that sells rings, which is probably every jeweler, and they'll measure your ring size for free. That's the most accurate way to do it. Or you can even order a ring measuring kit on Amazon. But if you want to, not have to pay for it, just go to a jeweler, ask them to measure your finger. It takes like 3 seconds and they could do it for you. That said, Harry, there are ring reducer pads on Amazon, and they're little like silicone pads that you can insert in the ring, and it's like super sticky. That way, the bigger ring will fit your finger. So that's also an option if you want to look into that. Petra says, with Tangem, my concern is malware getting on my phone. How do I avoid that? I mean, there's lots of ways to avoid, getting malware on your phone, like just not clicking random links or visiting a sketchy website. But the Tangem app is immune to malware. Also, your key to your crypto is not stored on the Tangem app. So it's not going to compromise your Tangem wallet. The key is stored offline on the secure chip inside the card. But the way the Tangem app is designed, it is completely isolated from the rest of your phone, and is isolated from any apps on your phone. So like even if you downloaded a malicious app, it wouldn't be able to access your Tangem app. So yeah, and that's just the facts. That's how it's been. There hasn't been anything to prove otherwise. Tangem has produced over 6 million cards now, shipped more than 6 million cards since 2017, and not a single one has been compromised. So, yes. Aid says, I'm all for self-custody, but the off-ramping fees outside of centralized exchanges are insane. How do you manage that? Your content is great, by the way. I appreciate you saying that. But off-ramping fees outside of, what do you mean outside of centralized exchanges? Are you just talking about off-ramping on centralized exchanges? Is that what you mean? There's not really any way around that. Maybe like peer-to-peer, but no one uses peer-to-peer systems really. It's pretty niche. So really you just have to research what exchange offers the best fees. Like for me, like when I use Kraken, when I sell my crypto, I sell it on Kraken Pro. Kraken Pro is completely free. It's the same login that you use for your normal Kraken account, but Kraken Pro actually has better rates, better fees. So you get to sell your crypto with a lot lower fees. So I'd look into like the pro versions of these exchanges, preferably ones you don't have to pay for. But even if you do have to pay for something like Kraken, it's not Kraken Pro, but it's like their paid version, which I actually do have for my business. And it can be beneficial just depending on how much how much crypto you're moving in and out of the exchange on a monthly basis. Because you do get free or no fees up to like a certain amount per month. Force with Bob, Force PW Bob. Once you move crypto to a stablecoin, can you move it back to the crypto you started with? Yeah, of course. I mean, you could swap whatever crypto you want for whatever crypto. Hold on a second. My phone's gonna die, so I gotta do some things here. First thing I have to do is unplug my microphone. So it might sound a little different. Let me know if you can still hear me, because I'm going to just use my phone microphone. Okay. Let me know if you can still hear me. Because I really got to charge my phone. Can you still hear me? Okay. Thanks, Marina. Now I just need to find my spot back where I was. Let me put this little thing away. Oh, shoot. Okay. I never thought I would use this little microphone because I have a bigger one. But once I started doing live streams on my phone, it works really good. So I'm glad I got it. Okay, let me find where I was. Okay, found it. Bappy says, please tell us how to be aware from blind signing. Bappy, to recognize blind signing, it's really simple. A blind signing transaction, one that's not clear, is just going to show you a bunch of like random data that you won't be able to understand. If you see that pop up during a transaction, that is blind signing. Clear signing is when you can completely understand, what you're doing. It tells you, you're swapping this amount of crypto for this amount. This is how much you're going to receive. You're interacting with this address. Your wallet address is this address. That's clear signing. If it just looks like a bunch of like cryptographic code, that would be blind signing. Hal says, thoughts on, and please stop spamming the chat, Bappy. I've already answered your question. Hal says, your thoughts on Decent Wallet. So Decent is not a wallet. It's one of the only cold wallets I don't recommend to people. It's not a wallet that I would ever use or recommend. I have a Decent wallet. I don't use it. Reason being is it is 100% closed source. Not many wallets are 100% closed source on the market today. And the ones that are at least working towards becoming open source. Like generally when a new wallet hits the market, there is a process of becoming open source. It just takes a while. Like when the Keystone 3 Pro originally hit the market, it wasn't fully open source. But over time, they were able to open source it because, again, there's a process with doing that. But Decent, I talked to them, and they said they do not plan on ever open sourcing their wallet. And what that means is only Decent knows the truth about their wallet. Any claims that company makes, there's no way that anyone could verify those claims are true because the code is kept private to them. So I'm not saying it does, but if Decent had a backdoor, like maybe, when you connect your Decent wallet to, the app or whatever it is, maybe they know your seed phrase. I don't know, but it's possible. Nobody knows. So Decent, not a wallet I'd ever recommend. And I'm surprised at the amount of influencers and YouTubers who recommend that wallet. My guess is why they recommend it is because they probably have some really insane incentives. And back when Decent originally reached out to me to basically review their wallet, they offered me money to just to publish videos about their product, not even like affiliate links, but like literally like, hey, make a video about Decent and we'll pay you. So that would be my guess why so many people talk about Decent and recommend it, but not a wallet that I would ever use myself or recommend to anyone. ERM says, can you make a video about how to add mini wallets with different passphrases in the Tangem app? So Tangem is a little different. It's a little more complicated to set up the passphrase. I already have a video out how to set up a passphrase using the Tangem wallet. If you type it on YouTube, let me check the exact title. How to set up passphrase Tangem wallet. Let's see. Yeah, if you just type it on YouTube, how to set up passphrase Tangem wallet, one of my old channels, the video is titled Make Your Tangem Wallet More Secure Passphrase Setup Tutorial. That video shows you how to set up a passphrase. Bappy says, does Tangem have a hidden wallet like Ledger? Yes, it does. A lot of these questions are questions I've already answered. Sam says Blockstream Jade. I have a Blockstream Jade wallet. It's not a wallet that I use. It is a Bitcoin only wallet. I hold more than Bitcoin, so it wouldn't really make much sense for me to use that wallet. Also, it's just not like an enjoyable wallet to use, in my opinion. It's small. I've got fat fingers. It's air gapped. It's not an enjoyable wallet for me to use. Will it secure your crypto? Sure. Not one that I recommend. I shouldn't say I don't recommend it. I just don't use it. So I don't really talk about it. America says, is it safe to connect tax software like CoinTracker or crypto tax calculator to cold wallets, hot wallets, and exchanges where I keep a small amount of digital assets? Um, yeah, so when you connect like tax software tools to your wallet, for starters, you don't have to do that. You can just paste your receiving address instead, depending how many addresses you have. That could take a long time though. That said, if you do want to go the connection route, the only thing you're doing, you're only giving read only access to those tools. So it's not like you're giving control or signing like spend approvals when you sign those transactions. You are just simply giving view only access to your wallets. As far as a recommendation, if you type in on YouTube how to file crypto taxes, my video should pop up. It's how to file crypto taxes. And in that video, I show the tool that I use. It's called coinledger.io. If you want to see a full breakdown of how I do it. And I've been filing my own crypto taxes for the last like 5 years now. I'm not a tax professional, but I have at least gone through the motions of doing it. AP says I'm a snob. Thank you very much. I might come off like that, and maybe even I am a little bit. But the reason, like I'm so intense sometimes, is because you need to take this seriously. You really need to take this stuff seriously. It's not something to just kind of blow off or just accept misinformation as facts. It's really important that you get the right information, and yeah, I'm serious about that, and I'm serious about making sure people's crypto is safe and that they know how to navigate the space safely. If you don't like that, no one's forcing you to be on the channel or watch the live stream. But I do appreciate you being here, and yeah. Barbara, I already answered your question about how to find what network your coin is on. Again, when you're sending it from the exchange, there's really only two ways, depending on what exchange you're using. The first way is when you hit the send button, it will tell you what network that crypto is on. That's the network you want to receive it on in your cold wallet. If it doesn't tell you the network, then it's going to have you choose a network. And whatever network you choose is the one you want to receive it on in your cold wallet. Ed Gardo says, are you saying Tangem is not safe? Not sure where you got that from, but I never said that or even hinted at that. Aaron, what's the best exchanges? Best is subjective. I use Kraken. James says, blink twice if you think I was scammed. James, I don't even know what you're talking about. How would I know if you were scammed or not? You didn't provide any context. I have no idea. Louise says, what about Blockstream Jade Plus? Again, that's a Bitcoin only wallet. I don't really use Bitcoin only wallets. It is mainly marketing, and because I hold more than Bitcoin, it doesn't really make sense for me to use a Bitcoin only wallet. That said, I haven't used the Jade Plus. I only have the original Blockstream Jade, so I can't give you my opinion on it because I've never used it. R. Pierce says, I watched your video today and we'll watch one more time and then we'll take the plunge. Shout out to R. Pierce. That's the attitude I like to see. A lot of this stuff is scary and it can be nerve-wracking to get started, but you got to do what R. Pierce is doing, and you got to take the plunge and go through the motions. The best part is you can do it at your own pace. You don't have to be in a rush. You don't have to send all your crypto at once. You can start with a small amount until you build up your confidence, But that is, 100% shout out to our peers doing things right. That's the only way you learn. Lava Entertainment is recommend to DeFi from a cold wallet, or is it pointless? To do DeFi from a cold wallet? No, I don't recommend connecting to any DeFi platforms from your cold wallet because you risk signing a malicious transaction approval, which would compromise your wallet. If you want to interact with DeFi platforms, then you need to either get a separate cold wallet for just that, or just use a hot wallet. Make sure you don't keep any amount of crypto on that wallet long term. Just put it on there for whatever you need to do, and then get it off and get it back to your cold wallet. What's going on, Wayne? Thanks for joining the live stream. Pablo says, how about Ballet Wallet? Again, not a wallet that I've used, so I can't comment much on it, my friend. Are there any other wallet apps that have both hot and cold wallet function on the app? I'm sure there are, yeah. I'm sure there are. Nox Addict says, what do you about Tangem being kind of sketchy because the firmware is closed source? So most wallets that use EAL certified secure element chips, which are the highest rated secure chips on the market, they are closed source because the chip manufacturer requires these companies to sign non-disclosure agreements that they won't leak basically how their chips are built. And the real reason they do that, and I'm talking about the chip company right now, not the hardware wallet company, is because of their IP. These companies have spent billions of dollars and tens, 20, 30, 40 years, maybe not 40 years, but dozens of years hardening these chips, making them more secure. And if they open source those chips, they'd be giving up their IP, and it would bring a lot more competition into the market, which is arguably, good, but could be bad for the company. But the reality is, there's only a very select few companies who design or who manufacture EAL rated secure element chips. And the reason why a lot of these wallets are not 100% open source is because they use these chips. But generally, like Ledger, for example, they're not 100% open source, but they're 95% open source. So they've open sourced everything that they can, with the exception of whatever the chip manufacturer told them not to open source. But like the important things like the key generation and all that stuff, like we know how that works with Tangem, because of the articles that they've released, as well as like if you create a seed phrase using Tangem, all of that whole process is open source, and available on GitHub. Darren says, can you please help me, Skrilla? You're literally the only person that I trust to help move my coins. It's just not something I offer, my friend. Again, we can hash it out in the comments on the channel, but I'm not going to meet up with you on like a Zoom or anything like that. It's just not something I do. Any questions you have, you need to drop a comment on the channel and I'll do my best to answer it. We can go back and forth in the comments. Arrays says, how long does Tangem take to ship to the US? Well, if you go to the website, it says delivery in 2 to 3 days if you're in the US. So 2 to 3 days after it ships. Joel says, I bought EliPal, the X cards from Amazon. Do you think EliPal is a good wallet? I don't recommend EliPal wallets anymore. Not because of what happened to Brandon, but because it's not a company that I trust, quite frankly. They lied to me and they are deceptive with their